Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy 2022. I know. Let's get into it. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on my social media, especially Instagram. I am most active there. My Instagram fam is so engaged, so I would love for you to join them if you haven't already. I hope that this year has started off well for you. If you are one who believes in New Year's resolutions and new starts and fresh beginnings and all of that stuff, is it new beginnings and fresh starts? I don't know. But whatever it is that you believe in, whatever 2022 means to you, if it means anything, I hope that that is all coming into fruition for you. I've just kind of realized that a lot of the times we're under this pressure these days to be like, oh, we have to hit the ground running, it's a new year and like new whatever, and we have to, and it's like, actually not necessarily. Maybe the new year needs to start off gently for you, I know that was the case for me, for sure, after the end of last year. So anyways, I don't want to keep being cryptic. I am pregnant. I am expecting baby O number 3. So if you have been following me on Instagram, you would know by now that we are expanding our family once again. Baby O number 3 is on its way. On my side, personally, I don't know about you, right? But when I'm pregnant, especially like the first trimester, it's a lot for all babies. But this one in particular, wiped me out. It wiped me out. I will share much more details about my third pregnancy and how I found out and all of that stuff in an upcoming video, so do look out for that. Just to give you a quick one, that for me is the hugest reason why I had sort of come back on YouTube, and then I went off, and it wasn't just YouTube, it was everything. I just couldn't function. I was barely keeping my eyes open to take care of my current 2 babies, so end of last year rather, was a lot for me personally. I was doing a lot of stuff. I was obviously working. I'm working on something else I'm going to share with you very, very soon. I was studying as well. I was doing a course which was taking up a lot of my time, a lot of my energy, and then I found out I was pregnant. so everything kind of just went into this big mushy thing, and it was just one of those things, when your body is telling you to just stop for a second and breathe, and your mind is also hey, I'm getting that message too. I don't know, for me, I'm I always have to honor that. And so that's for me the past couple of months, just trying to do that. You know how it is when you find out you're pregnant, sort of especially if you already have kids and you have other things going on, it's okay, life goes on. Life goes on. You still have to do a whole bunch of things. You still have other responsibilities. And then what was always planned was I was going to, as I always do at the end of the year, I take my leave. And so that's when I'm off social media. I'm off the internet in general, except Netflix. Except Netflix, if that counts. But I'm usually off at the end of the year. I don't know. When I say this, a lot of people get surprised by it. And they're oh, wow, that's really disciplined of you. And I'm but shouldn't it be the case? I mean, let me know what you think. Drop a comment if taking a break, a scheduled break, for a while, especially being unplugged, is, fully unplugged. No emails, no work emails. I'm sorry, I know you're on leave kind of situation. No, but you are offline. Is that something that you do? Do you believe in that? Do you want to do that? Is that something that you can do? I don't know. For me, it's always been a rule for me, even when I wasn't working for myself and I was working for an ad agency and things like that. I always took my leave very seriously. I just believe that you need to rest. Everybody needs to rest and recuperate and all of that. And I don't know, I just don't believe that we can do that if we're constantly stimulated by all of the content, all of the everything that's online. Having said that, I know I'm a content creator. I've always been vocal and, being very open about being very careful about what content you consume and how often and how much of it you do, because I think there should be a balance. So I finally took that break, went offline, finally went home to Tanzania. I hadn't been home in 2 years. I hadn't seen anyone in my family, my parents, my siblings, no one for 2 years. The last time we were there in January 2020. So it was December 2019 to January 2020. And obviously that was right before the hit the world. So for so many different reasons, I couldn't travel. There was obviously, the world shutting down. I had Kenzo, borders closing, because I have family who live in different countries as well. So their borders were closed when our borders were open and vice versa. It was a mess. So the end of last year was the first time that all of us were able to travel from our different respective countries and meet in Tanzania. That was huge for us. It was a massive trip, traveling to Tanzania with 2 kids and being pregnant. Woo! I would say that Kev and I were very brave, but it was one of those things. It was like, well, we have to do it. Like, how else are we going to, So we did that. The first couple of days were great. Unfortunately, because everybody was coming in at different times, it was all staggered and stuff. So I didn't actually get to spend the quality time that I wanted and expected to with my family as a whole, because we got sick. We got sick with what? Not everybody in the family, but a couple of members. I got sick. I got what? Basically meant that I actually only spent maybe 2 or 3 days with my entire family in one go. And then, I was in isolation for the rest of the time I was there. Thankfully, the O'Reilly side of the family, i.e. Kev, Kai, and Kenzo, didn't get anything. But by the time we were supposed to come back to Joburg, I was still positive. So I couldn't travel. So I had to change my ticket. It was a mess. So it was a really not a great trip at all. It was very stressful. It was very scary, especially because exactly that, I was pregnant. I spent some time in hospital. I was admitted for a night because obviously being pregnant, I am considered a high-risk patient. It was actually very traumatic, to be honest with you. It was a very traumatic experience. Thankfully, baby is fine. I am fine. I was checked out and, all of that, but I still couldn't travel because it was in my system. The results were still testing positive. So I had to wait until it was out of my system so that I could travel, obviously. Basically, it meant that me and my family, as in the O'Reillys, had to travel separately. So Kev had to come back to Joburg on his own with the boys so Kai could start school. I had to stay that side. Thankfully, I got a bit of time with my mom. My mom's the only one who actually lives in Tanzania, but everybody else had to go back to their respective countries. So it wasn't like, oh, okay, well, now I'm testing negative, I can still get that family experience. So it was really, like I said, quite a traumatic experience. Definitely not what we had planned, not what we had hoped for. I got that time to sort of like reflect on a lot of things. This is why I was saying, I kind of came into 2022 quite delayed. Yeah, when you're in a situation like that, you really do. And I'm sure you can relate if you did get the dreaded, that you end up sort of like really kind of, reflecting on life, reflecting on the things that are important to you, what you want to do. It's not as sort of like, hey, okay, I was sick and now I'm okay and carry on, It took me a while to kind of really get to terms with it. And then physically, I still do have, I'm still triggered, but if the weather changes, I'm coughing. And they told me that this is quite common apparently for some people. Obviously, I'm not currently sick with it anymore, but it has left a lasting, and I don't know how long it'll last for, effect on my system. But like I said, at the end of the day, looking at the bigger picture, I'm just so grateful that it wasn't more severe, and my baby's okay, and I'm okay, and the boys are okay, and everyone else, who was sick as well in my family, also okay. So that's basically the headline. I'm pregnant, went to Tanzania, got was sick for a while, recovered, reflected, and now I have returned. I just want to share with you up front what I would like to sort of share with you on my channel for the rest of the year. As many of you know, I am very, very passionate about motherhood and being honest about my experience as a young entrepreneur mom with many hats, wife, and all of that kind of stuff. That's basically what you can expect from my channel moving forward. It's not like a complete departure of anything, because I've been doing this for a while, but it's just talking about things that we don't really talk about that often. If there's any topic, even if it's something small, just let me know. If that's something that you're like, I'm a bit nervous about talking about this, what are your thoughts or whatever, just, drop me a line. I really want to share a little bit more of behind the scenes, what I get up to on, a daily basis kind of thing. So that's kind of like the aim of the next couple of months, just chatting with you. And please do comment if you watch something and you resonate with it. Let me know, share the video with another woman in your life who you think might be interested in it. I really, really encourage that. I'd love to, increase the community on here. I hope everyone's good. I hope you're all back from, if you have traveled, I hope you're all back from your relative destination safely. You realize that you just can't take these things for granted. So I really do hope that everything is well with everybody and you are good. You have started the year off the way you want to, whether it is hitting the ground running or if it's chilled. So please remember to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, drop a line. I will see you in the next video.